Hey guys, I just want to say, start off that a lot's been going on in my life right now. I'm pretty stressed out with family and school, so the quality of the speech isn't the best, but bear with me. But let's spin. According to the Tribune dated June 28th, 2019, Gregor Rodriguez was a 22-year-old college student wincing through the pain of a long, thin probe sticking to his lungs. Events had to breathe for him as the probe sucked out yellow jelly-like clots from his lungs. Rodriguez was vaping mysterious substances he didn't know. He was vaping poisons. Rodriguez's story is one of the many growing cases of vape-related harm. One report from the PR Newswire on the 11th of December 2019 cites a 2018 study done by the CDC that reported 2,051 lung-related injury cases and 39 deaths associated with the use of vaping and other e-cigarette products. Sure, it's not quite the same number as cigarette-related victims, but considering the growing popularity of vaping among young teens, these numbers are a huge concern. And with that being said, I'm going to convince you why the federal age for vaping should be increased to 21. And I'm going to do that by going over the problems associated with vaping, finally address the causes of why they occur, and offer other solutions to vaping. So now let's start by going over the problems associated with vaping. The primary concern being the damage it can do to the lungs and the adolescent brain. Let's see. From one publication of the Star Tribune dated the 2nd of November 2019, Dr. Thomas Erling-Cottle, a medical director with Health Partners and a cardiologist for 40 years, said that vaping causes irreversible damage to the lungs, similar to cigarettes. The only treatment for the level of lung damage are lung transplants, which are about only 2,000 procedures are done every year. So clearly, there's not enough of these surgeons and procedures to go around. So having so many people vape is incredibly dangerous for everyone that does it. Additionally, vaping for long durations of time or over a long period of time comes with symptoms of shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, and chest pain. These are early signs of potential lung disease, of which 6,000 Americans die every year. And the final problem is that nicotine and other chemicals in vaping cause incredible damage to the brain. Our young brains aren't supposed to process these unknown chemicals, and putting them in our cells is bad. But now that we've gone over the problems associated with vaping, let's go over some of the causes. The main causes are the aerosol particles, lack of regulation, and nicotine. So, the University Wire, as of October 27th, 2021, reports a study done by Johns Hopkins University, one of the leading medical research schools in the country. They found thousands of unknown chemicals in the aerosols from e-cigarettes. Some of the chemicals are also dangerously associated with combustion. Some of the chemicals are so unknown, in fact, that these researchers aren't even able to quantify or name them. And for the aerosol itself, the various particles in them cause lung damage. But one of the bigger issues in regards to vaping is the lack of regulation when it comes to the substances people inhale. According to the London Free Press from the September 27, 2019, they report that the lack of government regulation in regards to vaping is incredibly dangerous. Vaping devices provide a high level of flexibility and the ability to kind of mix in chemicals, different oils, different ingredients. But the danger about that though is that manufacturers quite literally put anything in their products. The mixture of THC and nicotine has to be incredibly dangerous, and it was actually what Gregor Rodriguez was smoking before his lung injury. In addition, the market for vaping products are young teens who typically lack the maturity to check what's in their products in the first place, and what they need to feel included as well. Teens also get pressured into following the latest fad, despite the dangers involved, like vaping. And the final cause, according to the PR Newswire dated March 11, 2022, the perceived effect that nicotine allows one to alleviate stress is untrue. However, for young teens, the idea becomes enticing. Essentially, teens begin vaping nicotine in the hopes of dealing with the stress of growing up. The truth is that the addictive nature of nicotine ropes teens back in regularly. This causes an unfortunate cycle of teens smoking dangerous chemicals, but they can't stop because of the addiction. But just to recap some of the causes, causes of vaping's damage are the aerosol particles, the dangerous chemicals, lack of regulation, and the addictive nature of nicotine that draws people back in. But with all that being said, let's cover some of the solutions to vaping. The first being a federal age limit increase to 21. The second being increased government regulations, and then I'll offer some personal solutions that one can take. So the federal age minimum right now to vape is 18, but it should be increased to 21. Vaping has many of the same consequences as smoking, should be treated in the same way. An age increase would reduce the amount of individuals vaping and also reduce the availability of products. If the audience for a product decreases, then there will be a lesser incentive for manufacturers to produce said products, so there'll be less of them in the circulation. The second government solution is to have federal regulations in regards to the chemicals inside vaping devices. As of right now, they're treated for the same chemicals as smoking, but the dangers of vaping come from third-party products that don't follow regulation. Having the government crack down on these dangerous chemicals in these products can save many lives. And another solution is presented by the PR Newswire dated February 10th, 2022. A news company called Vaporwave is implementing a new technology to reduce the effects of nicotine on the body. It's an air filter connected to the vape devices that gradually reduces the nicotine inhaled by the body, starting at a 25% reduction and increasing to a 75% reduction over a course of 9 weeks. What happens is the body slowly gets used to the lack of nicotine or the reduction of it to a point where users can quit vaping altogether. And yeah. Another solution I want to talk about is presented by the PR Newswire once again, dated January 11th, 2019. They speak on a program called Vape Enders. The program is a derivative of the famous Smoke Enders program, which helped millions of people quit smoking cigarettes without the use of patches, nicotines, other substances. They help people quit addiction through a structured five-week step-by-step approach. It takes only a few minutes a day. The staff at Vape Enders also include licensed psychologists, former nicotine addicts, and they'll help you to overcome the physical, psychological, cultural, and social aspects of vaping. And I guess the final solution is really to, not kind of really get pressured into it. I know it's kind of hard. We're at the age where, peer influences matter a lot. But, it really takes a lot of mental fortitude to be able to say no to these products. Remember, these products have a lot of dangerous consequences. Just look at some of these videos online on YouTube, the effects of vaping or the effects of nicotine. You can see how much damage it can do to the body. But yeah, with the solutions being said, I hope today that convinced you on why the federal vaping age limit should be increased to 21. I did this by going over the problems, causes, and finally offered my solutions to vaping. And with all that being said, Gregory Rodriguez is still with us today. He has not passed away yet. And now he's an advocate for, anti-vaping. And, he hopes that no one else ever gets to be in a situation again. Yeah. Sorry for the scuffness, guys, but...